So here we are again. I'm going to show you 3 more perennials that I consider are really good. All the perennials I've been showing during this series is perennials that I grow up here at Grassy Bottom, and the good doers. And I've been growing plants for a long time now, many years, and I only grow the ones that I consider garden worthy and worth having. This one here is an anemone, and I think it's Honorine Joubert. Now, it was already in the garden when I moved here, so I can't be 100% sure of that, but I've done a lot of investigation on it, and it appears that it probably is that one. It's one of the most popular ones, so it is likely that it is. It's a great perennial for any border. Now, the one thing you've got to be wary of is that it is a bit of a spreader and can be considered a bit of a nuisance in that respect, but it's dead easy to control. I've left this clump. It was bigger than this when I first moved in. I've shrunk it down and it's expanded again. As autumn approaches and the flowers die away, I shall simply rip out the bits I don't want. But it has this stunning flower that looks great in short-term flower arrangements, because the flowers don't last forever in the flower arrangements. They do drop pretty quickly, but it's lovely in the garden. It's just got so many flower buds about to open and so many flowers that are already in it. It's definitely worth seeking out. Now, along with that one, I've also got this one here. This is a little pink one that's developed. And as I said, they do spread around. And there's another one over there. But it is a really good doer. I leave it alone. I rarely have to do anything to it. And it forms this clump every year without fail. So that's the Japanese anemone. Another good plant to get. This is the second of the perennials I'm going to comment on. And this used to be called aster, but now they've changed the name and it's now called Symphyotrichum. If you like, just call it an aster. A lot of people still do. But this particular one is absolutely fantastic. And it's called Marina Wolkonsky. It's one of the New England ones, so it doesn't really suffer with any types of diseases, which a lot of them tend to. It has this stunning colour that gets better as each flower opens. On a sunnier day, that would appear yellower. As the first come out, it is definitely yellower, as you can see from that one there, a lot yellower. And then it produces multiple flower heads. This is a 2-year-old plant, and it's doing quite well at the moment. As I say, it doesn't suffer any diseases. And as for location, well, I would put it into a mixed border as it is here. I would try and get some sunshine on it because it is quite late in the season when these come out. We're in August at the moment. It is a little bit early, but it's good for the pollinators. In fact, there's a bee here right now that's asleep on it. It's cooled off a bit today, so it's either that's causing the problem or it's just drunk on the nectar. Here's another bumblebee that's enjoying the nectar. So probably that one there is just a little bit drunk on the nectar. So it is a really good one to get. As I say, the pollinators love it. It's upright, it stands tall, it stands well. You get the odd one that just droops over slightly. But in general, it holds well. So it used to be called aster, but now it's called Symphyotrichum. But it's definitely one worth putting on your list. So that's number 2. So number 3 on this video will be this one here, and this is called Sanguisorba. And it's a particular favourite of mine. All of the Sanguisorbas I like, all of them. This particular one's called blackthorne. This year, it hasn't got as tall as it did last year, but we've had a particularly hot summer without the moisture at the right time for this plant. But nevertheless, it's still up to 4 foot at the moment. The bees are all over it and the wasps are all over it. The wasps are not all over it. The honeybees are all over it. So it's good from that perspective. It's called blackthorne, basically because of the colour that's within it. It shows better at certain times of the day than others. Now, I really like this one because, again, it mingles well into a mixed border, as it is here, and it complements my grasses, as you can see from the back there. So it's really good. It makes a lovely clump. So it's a clump former. It'll come back every year. As I've said, it's perennial. It's no trouble, doesn't cause any problems. And when winter comes, it just goes into these dried looks, and I tend to leave it alone, and then I'll chop it back down in spring because it holds well. But as you can see, there's absolutely loads of flower heads on it. And there's little ones coming up, smaller ones that are developing. So I would say this has got probably a good month and a half left in it yet before it finishes with its flowering. And that's a local honeybee. I know that because somebody in the village keeps them. So it's a really good one. And that's number 3 on my list. 3 easy perennials to consider and to put on your list. Talk to you later. Ta-ra.